My name's Drew Mackenzie, and we're just going to give you a quick demonstration on how to apply herbicide to arum lilies to get effective control that is protects yourself while you're doing the work, protects the environment and protects others. So the first thing we really want to look at is getting a really good weather window and making sure that we've got a minimum of 4 hours for the herbicide to dry and be effective. So we've checked the forecast today. We've got a fine forecast for today and even the next couple of days. The next thing that we really want to do is go and have a look at the area that we want to spray. We want to check that the arums are quite advanced, and we want to have something like 50 to 70% of the plants flowering so that we know that they're mature, they're ready, and they're going to receive that herbicide and take it down into the base of the plant. It's also really good to have a quick walk through your site. You want to check for any sensitive areas because we don't want to be spraying over any standing water or really damp areas. We don't want to hit any sensitive plants, native plants, and we really want to take some photos of the infestation before we start spraying so that we've got a reference point for next year. And you also want to have a look at how dense and how large the infestation is so that you know how much chemical to mix up. And you don't want to mix up too much because it can't store for longer than 24 hours once it's mixed. Boots, long pants, long sleeve shirt, some good glasses or safety goggles. I use these heavy gloves for mixing and some more comfortable but still latex coated gloves for applying, and we need to put a mask on once we're working with the chemical. In order to mix the chemical, we use 3 different parts. We've got the actual herbicide, which is sulfuron. We've got a wetting agent here, or penetrant, called Pulse. If you don't have this available, you can use detergent. And we're going to use a dye in the mix today, which will be helpful to help demonstrate how the chemical is actually coming out and sticking to the plant. It's also really useful to indicate where you have and haven't been. A container here with 1 litre of water, and we are going to pre-mix the chlorsulfuron first within this 1 litre of water. It's a flowable granule and it needs to be dissolved in that water before we apply it to our backpack. We're going to use 1 gram of chlorsulfuron for our 10 litre backpack. We're going to use 25 mils of Pulse for 10 litres. We're going to use 20 mils of dye. Just pre-filling this backpack up to 9 litres so that we make, with the litre that's already pre-mixed, that will be 10 litres of mix. Okay, now we've got the pre-mixed chlorsulfuron in here. It's going to go in. All of those granules have dissolved. I'm going to put all of this, I've already mixed out 25 mils of Pulse to go in. And we've pre-measured the dye in these containers that are really useful for measuring out. We've already got 20 mils of dye in that pre-measured part of the container. So we've now got 10 litres of mix, and we're just going to agitate that before we start to control. The thing we need to consider when we're spraying is the wind. We don't want to be spraying under really windy conditions. There's a bit of a breeze around today, so we've selected quite a sheltered spot, and we're going to make sure that when we're spraying, we're not walking through the sprayed area that we've just covered, otherwise we're going to cover ourselves in chemical. So we're going to start in and work away from that, and we're going to work, we're going to try and cover 100% of the plant, all of the arum lily and all of the lilies, and avoid other native plants. We choose sulfuron because it's the most selective of the herbicides that are effective on arum lily, but we still need to be careful, particularly with regard to species like orchids and some of the grasses. Okay. 100% coverage. We're hitting, I like to hit the flowers so that we know where we've been and other people know that you've been spraying there. We've got to hit some of these small plants that are hiding underneath the main crop of arum lily. And we're just moving back away from our sprayed area, not through the sprayed area, so we don't cover ourselves with chemical. And we know that we're getting really good results with sulfuron and this method, getting up to 95% control.